But on October 19th, 2017, Pan-STARRS spotted an object moving rapidly between the stars. And this time, the usual follow-up measurements of position and speed showed something completely different.
A retired NASA engineer has just made a shocking revelation, claiming that NASA and several other international space agencies have been secretly tracking a mysterious object since 1929. According to the report, it is neither a comet nor an asteroid, and it behaves unlike anything scientists have ever observed before.
Its brightness wasn't constant. Now here we see Oumuamua racing between the stars. It's centered in the middle. The stars are trailed out because the telescope is following its motion.
After more than 5 years of quiet monitoring and data collection, what researchers have recently discovered is beginning to seriously worry and confuse the scientific community. Why this matters now? It all started back in 2019. Astronomers were going through regular space survey data when they noticed something small and faint moving in the background. At first, it didn't seem special. Space telescopes catch thousands of moving dots every day. Most turn out to be asteroids, bits of rock, or harmless space junk. So no one paid much attention. But this one was different. It didn't move like an asteroid. Its path kept changing slightly, almost as if something was controlling it. Still, the signal was weak, and the computers at the time weren't smart enough to study it properly. The data just kept collecting, year after year, without anyone realizing how strange this object really was. Then came 2023, the year technology finally caught up. Artificial intelligence and machine learning had gotten much better by then. Scientists could now go back and recheck old telescope images with new tools that could spot tiny patterns people had missed before. When the data from 2019 was scanned again, the mysterious object popped up in several images, all from different times and different telescopes. The AI noticed that it had appeared again and again, following a path that didn't match anything known. It wasn't behaving like space debris or a natural object. Something about it was off. Researchers began comparing the new findings with older records and realized that this thing had been moving around our solar neighborhood for over 5 years. That's when everyone started paying attention. After 1929, the Space Force improved its space-watching systems, especially the ones between Earth and the Moon. They added new radar stations and better tracking software. These upgrades allowed them to see deeper into space and detect smaller, faster objects than before. Soon, both civilian astronomers and military radar systems started spotting the same mysterious object. This was unusual, two completely different systems confirming the same strange movement. That kind of overlap almost never happens by accident. Scientists began piecing together the data. The object wasn't just flying past Earth. It seemed to move in a slow, deliberate way. It wasn't random, and it wasn't drifting. It looked like it was traveling on purpose and had been doing so for years. That's why this discovery matters now. For the first time, we have the technology to truly see it. And what we're seeing doesn't fit into any known category of space object, which is exactly what makes it so terrifying. All right, we know something's out there being watched, but what is it? 3 possibilities exist, and they're all pretty mind-blowing. 3 leading hypotheses. Scientists have come up with 3 main ideas to explain what this strange object might be. Each one sounds possible, but also a little mysterious. The first idea is that it might be an interstellar visitor, something that came from another star system far beyond our own. This means it could have traveled for millions of years before finally reaching our solar neighborhood. We have seen a few interstellar visitors before, like Oumuamua in 2017 and Borisov in 2019. But unlike Borisov, which shone brightly with gas and dust, this new object is almost completely silent. It doesn't glow, spin, or release any visible material. It just moves quietly, almost like it's sneaking through space. Its path is smooth and calm, showing no signs of breaking apart or slowing down. This quiet, stealthy motion is unusual and hard to explain. If it really did come from another star system, it could carry materials or information from places humans have never explored. But its lack of normal comet or asteroid behavior makes it stand out even more. The idea is that it might be something made by humans long ago, a piece of lost space hardware. In the past, space missions left many old rocket parts and probes drifting around the solar system. One famous case happened in 2020 when astronomers discovered that an object they were tracking, called 2020SO, was actually a rocket booster from the 1960s. It had been floating around space for more than 50 years before it came back near Earth. This could be something similar, maybe an old rocket stage or part of a forgotten mission from the early space age. Because it might be hollow and lightweight, sunlight could easily push it around, making its movement look strange. Scientists sometimes call this kind of discovery space archaeology, since it's like finding an ancient object from our own past returning after decades lost in orbit. The third idea is that it could be a mini-moon, a small space rock temporarily caught by Earth's gravity. Sometimes these tiny objects drift into our planet's pull and circle us for a while before escaping back into space. 3 theories on the table. Time to test each one against real evidence. What scientists discovered next? It only deepens the mystery. Split test analysis. Scientists have spent years studying this strange object first spotted in 1929. They've looked at its path, how it spins, how light hits it, and even how the sun pushes against it. After all that, one thing is clear: it doesn't fully match anything we already know. Most space objects move in clear, easy-to-understand paths. Interstellar visitors, like the famous Oumuamua, travel in a hyperbolic path. They fly into our solar system once and never come back. Captured objects, like mini-moons, move in looping paths around Earth for a while before drifting away. Old space hardware, such as rocket parts, usually follows a path close to Earth's own orbit. But the 1919 object doesn't fit into any of these. Its path is strange, not open like an interstellar traveler, not looping like a mini-moon, and not steady like a piece of space junk. It seems to move in a way that sits somewhere in between, as if it can't decide whether to stay or go. Next, scientists studied what's pushing the object through space. There are 2 main forces that can move small bodies: sunlight pressure and outgassing. Sunlight pressure is gentle and steady, like a soft breeze. It pushes light objects slowly away from the sun. Outgassing happens when ice turns into gas and bursts out like tiny rocket engines, giving comets sudden pushes. The 2019 object doesn't show any bursts or sudden changes. Instead, it drifts smoothly, pushed only by sunlight. This means it's probably very light, maybe thin and hollow, like a leaf floating on water. Some experts have wondered if it could be made of a thin artificial material, something built rather than born in space. That idea is still just a guess, but it makes this story even more interesting. The object also spins slowly, 1 full turn every 7 to 8 hours. Its movement is calm and even, with no wobbling or strange twisting. There are no signs of small rockets firing or anything controlling it. This kind of smooth spin usually means the object is either a natural rock or an old, inactive piece of hardware. When scientists study light reflecting off an object, they can tell what it's made of. Spacecraft paint shows certain patterns, and icy comets have clear light bands. But this object's light is flat and plain. No colors, no special lines. That means it might be made of dark carbon material, an old weathered surface, or maybe a thin metallic shell. So far, the object doesn't act like anything we've seen before, and that's exactly what keeps scientists watching. Weird path, strange spin, mysterious surface. Cool story, right? But here's the thing, this affects you. Here's exactly how it matters. Why this matters. The strange object found in 1929 is more than just a mystery. It matters because it shows how much we still need to learn about what moves around our planet and through our solar system. The more we understand it, the safer and smarter our future in space will be. The first reason this matters is simple: safety. When something new appears in the sky, scientists must figure out what it is and how it moves. They need to know if it's harmless or if it could ever come close to Earth. The faster they can identify an object, the faster they can understand its path and possible danger. Right now, the world's detection systems still have blind spots. The 2019 object was tracked for years without a clear label. That means other unknown objects could also be out there, moving quietly. By improving how we find and track them, scientists can better protect the planet and reduce the chance of being caught by surprise. Before 2017, experts believed that objects from other star systems were extremely rare, maybe one every 100 years. But since the discovery of Oumuamua in 2017, Borisov in 2019, and now this quiet 2019 object, it's clear that interstellar visitors come more often than we thought. Each new visitor helps scientists learn how space rocks and materials travel between stars. It also helps update the safety plans that predict how likely these visitors are to pass near Earth. The more we know about their behavior, the better we can prepare for what comes next. There's also the issue of space traffic. Space between Earth and the Moon is getting busier every year. Old rockets, broken satellites, and other pieces of hardware are still floating out there. If this object turns out to be lost human-made material, it shows why tracking space junk is so important. As more countries and private companies send missions to the Moon, they will all share the same space. Keeping track of every object will help avoid crashes and protect future lunar bases and spacecraft. Discoveries like this also affect how money and time are spent. NASA and other space agencies plan their budgets around known risks and goals. When an object cannot be fully explained, it slows down planning and research. Events like the 2013 Chelyabinsk meteor remind us that even small objects can be dangerous. That meteor hurt more than 1,000 people. This is why understanding space objects, even quiet ones, truly matters for everyone on Earth. Safety, space traffic, future missions, big stuff. But after all that testing and watching, what do scientists actually think this thing is? Leading conclusion. After years of watching and studying the strange object found in 1929, scientists now have a leading idea. While nothing is proven yet, most signs point to it being an interstellar visitor, something that came from another star system far away. It's not a perfect match, but it fits better than any other explanation so far. The main reason is how sunlight pushes against it. The object shows a gentle, steady movement caused by sunlight pressure. This is something that happens to very light and wide objects drifting in space. It acts like sunlight is slowly nudging it along, just as it did with the famous object Oumuamua. If this were a comet or something releasing gas, scientists would see small bursts or sudden shifts in its path. But this object moves calmly and smoothly, with no signs of outgassing. That gentle sunlight push fits best with a natural visitor from beyond our solar system. Its rotation also adds to the story. The object turns slowly, once every 7 to 8 hours. The motion is steady and even, not fast or uneven. There are no signs of sudden changes or wobbling. This kind of slow tumble is common for natural space rocks or quiet, inactive objects. It doesn't act like a piece of working machinery or something being guided. Everything about its spin feels calm and natural. The surface readings give more clues. When light bounces off an object, it shows a pattern that can tell scientists what it's made of. Human-made hardware usually shows signs of paint or metal coatings, like titanium dioxide. Natural materials, like rock or dust, have softer, simpler patterns. The 2019 object shows a flat and featureless light pattern. It doesn't look like painted metal or shiny plastic. Instead, it seems dark and weathered, like carbon or old rock. That makes the old space hardware idea less likely. Even though the object's path is still a little unclear, the mini-moon idea also seems weaker now. Its movement doesn't fit well with something trapped by Earth's gravity. So while it's still possible that it could be old hardware or a captured body, those theories are less favored. Right now, the most likely story is that it's a quiet traveler from another star system, a piece of natural space material that drifted through the dark for millions of years before crossing our path. It may not be dangerous, but it is a powerful reminder that space still holds endless mysteries waiting to be found. An interstellar visitor drifting past Earth sounds like science fiction. But before making it official, scientists need bulletproof evidence. Here's their master plan. Verification plan. Scientists are now focused on confirming what this mysterious 2019 object really is. To do that, they've built a clear step-by-step plan made up of 5 windows, or research phases. Each window gives a new chance to gather better data, check results, and make sure every conclusion holds up. The first window focuses on getting better light readings, also called spectra. To do this, astronomers need to wait until the object is at the best angle and distance for observation. When the lighting is just right, the data collected will have a high signal-to-noise ratio, meaning fewer distortions and clearer details. This helps reveal faint features that were invisible before, such as subtle color changes or signs of different materials. This stage could take several months, or even up to a year, depending on how the object moves through the sky. The second window involves radar. Scientists plan to use several powerful radar facilities, such as Goldstone and Greenbank, along with international partners. By sending radar signals from different locations and comparing how they bounce back, astronomers can build a more complete picture of the object's shape, surface texture, and spin. The way the radar waves reflect also helps reveal what the surface is made of. Smooth metal reflects differently than rough rock, and this difference can tell researchers if the object is natural or artificial. The third window will focus on measuring brightness over time using something called light curves. Astronomers will take photos with the same instruments and filters over several nights, or even weeks and months. By comparing how the light changes, they can confirm the exact rotation period and check for any new signs of movement or activity. If the brightness shifts suddenly, it might suggest outgassing or other physical changes. Using the same filters ensures that every measurement stays consistent and reliable. In this stage, scientists will dig into older sky surveys, possibly from 2016 or earlier, to see if the object was captured in older data. Finding it in past images can extend the known orbital path and improve predictions of its motion. Earlier detections might also reveal how it behaved before 2019, giving a longer timeline for analysis. The final window is all about transparency. Once the research team completes their studies, they will publish the results for everyone to see. Other groups around the world will then try to repeat the analysis, check for mistakes, and confirm or challenge the findings. Multiple independent studies make the final conclusions stronger and more trustworthy. These 5 windows together will turn mystery into measurable truth, step by careful step. 5 careful tests from Earth will reveal the truth. But some scientists want more. What if we actually flew out and touched it? Potential mission concept. Scientists are thinking about a bold and exciting idea, sending a small spacecraft to chase the strange object found in space in 2019. The spacecraft would be about the size of a washing machine. It would be fast, light, and built to travel through space at high speed. The goal is simple. The spacecraft would fly close to the object, collect small dust particles using a special soft material called aerogel, and then bring those samples back to Earth. Aerogel can catch dust, even when it moves faster than a bullet, without burning or breaking it. This way, scientists could study the dust safely in their labs. The rewards of this mission would be huge. If the object really came from another star system, the samples could hold untouched material from deep space. That means scientists could finally study real pieces of matter that formed around another star. These samples might show rare chemical patterns, strange isotope mixes, or even hints of organic compounds, the basic building blocks of life. This could help scientists learn how planets and stars form far from our Sun. It could also give us clues about how common life might be in the universe. But the mission would not be easy. It could cost hundreds of millions of dollars. The timing would need to be perfect, since the object moves quickly through space, and building a system that can safely bring the dust back home would take careful design. Still, the idea of touching something that traveled across the stars is too amazing to ignore. And that's where things stand. A mysterious traveler from beyond, quietly gliding through our solar system, defying every label we know. Whether it's a rock, relic, or true interstellar visitor, one thing is certain: space is far from silent. Stay tuned, stay curious, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more cosmic mysteries.